hey,
magnificent,
hey,
magnificent,
hey,
magnificent,
hey,
magnificent,
hey,
magnificent,
hey,
magnificent,
hey.
magnificent.
Did you know that the stock market as we know it today in all of its deranged glory started because a bunch of European spice traders got tired of rebuilding their life savings whenever a boat sank? They risked fortunes on 3-year voyages that could be wiped out by storms, pirates, or disease at any moment. And each voyage was its own company. If a ship finally returned, the company liquidated, paid profits, and everyone had to reinvest somewhere else. It was high risk, high reward, stop and go financing that our founding degenerates YOLO. This model sucked, and the Dutch Republic needed to scale after they just gained independence from Spain. And that's the mindset that accidentally created modern finance. In 1602, the Dutch merged 6 rival companies into one giant megacorp, the VOC, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce what that stands for, but it was also known as the United East India Company. They gave it a 20-year charter and basically said you can trade with Asia, build forts, hire soldiers, and wage limited war. I'm sure we'd have nothing to worry about if we granted power like that to companies today. Building this infrastructure called for a significant upfront investment, so they also received permission to raise public capital, and that was the game changer. For the first time, citizens could invest by depositing money or the equivalent to buy shares. They became shareholders by writing their names in the VOC ledger with the hope of a rising share value and dividends returning cash or product when profits were strong. And there you have it, the first IPO. Now, capital stayed in the company treasury to fund voyages and trading posts, but buried in that charter was language allowing these shares to be transferable to others. The stock exchange was born with that sentence. It created liquidity and confidence knowing there were buyers for your investment and you didn't need to hold through a 3-year voyage. You could sell and exit at any time. And now the company didn't need to dissolve to repay investors since ownership could change hands. All that degeneracy and risk was passed on to our degenerate forefathers. It was the spark that made capitalism scalable. And then price discovery was created from buyers and sellers determining fair value based on shipping rumors, reports on the cargo value, if there would be dividends, and overall supply and demand for the stock. Settlement happened privately between the two parties, and trades would take place at the VOC office by crossing out the seller's name and writing the buyer's name next to it. Then it just took a stamp before a note of confirmation was issued. Within a few years, the VOC had more buyers and sellers than they could handle, so they expanded to a place where they could trade shares, the Amsterdam Bourse. This was a covered market hall where merchants were already trading grain and commodities, but now the culture was becoming the world's first stock exchange. Merchants and brokers met under specific archways depending on what they were trading. Brokers shouted news across archways, paper slips flew, and prices were scribbled on walls. No screens, no tickers, just gossip and gut feel. Deals were sealed by handshake and backed by trust. Brokers emerged as a new class of professionals. They matched buyers and sellers, took small commissions, and maintained informal reputation networks. You couldn't look up a price, and you had to know who was trustworthy, so that made brokers valuable. Innovation followed this chaos, giving birth to many financial tools. There were forward contracts for agreements made on shares at speculative future prices, and there were option-like side bets where you could promise to buy at a future price or place a bet that you might want to buy later. That's right, derivatives in the 1600s. There were credit obligations with agreements to pay at a later date, and there was even a method of establishing loans backed by VOC shares. Degenerates were trading on leverage and margin from the jump. And none of this stuff came from regulators. It was pure merchant creativity and greed, a blueprint of modern finance inked on parchment. Believe it or not, it wouldn't be the stock market without short selling. You could borrow shares, sell them, and hope to buy them back cheaper at a later date. To no one's surprise, that led to the first major market controversy just 7 years in. All thanks to Isaac Lemaire, the world's first activist investor and first accused short seller. Isaac was a VOC board member and one of their largest early shareholders. He snapped when the board refused to repurchase his shares or pay more dividends, so he sold his shares he didn't own at current rates via contracts, promising to deliver those shares later when he expected shares to be cheaper to buy. Rumors spread, prices tanked, and panic hit the bourse. The VOC board was furious, accusing him of spreading false information to pump his bets and caused the city council to step in and pass one of the first short-selling bans, which led to the first squeeze. Congratulations, Isaac. You invented financial pettiness, triggered the first market regulation in history, and set the tone for over 400 years of regulatory tension. You asshat. And side note, my boy GME Butt Stallion noticed a striking resemblance to another well-known asshat, but My eyes might be playing tricks on me, I don't know. As the market grew, information became currency. A ship sighting off the Cape of Good Hope could move prices 10%. Letters from Batavia arrived weeks late, but could still change fortunes. The first form of high-frequency trading was just a fast horse, and whoever had the information first was the most successful. So there you have it. The modern market was officially born. Derivatives, regulation, Wall Street, the New York Stock Exchange, all descend from the VOC and the Amsterdam bourse, where people watched their investments sail away and traded shares within hours based on tavern rumors of a ship that's halfway around the world. The first trade didn't just move spices, it moved history. And it's been moving us ever since. Like, subscribe, follow at The Magnificent on Instagram and X, and let's keep the education going every Sunday at 11 a.m. Central.